is now 7:50. For millions of Americans, home video means watching movies on video cassette. But this morning, Joel Siegel shed some new light, laser beam light, on what home video means for a growing number of movie lovers. Hi, Joel.
Good morning, Joan. In film, the proportion of the image a lens sees is called the aspect ratio, and this is in the aspect ratio of a TV screen in most movies. But this represents the aspect ratio in a widescreen format like CinemaScope. It's obvious if you show something like this on a screen like this, you're going to lose something. One way to squeeze a wide format like CinemaScope movie onto a TV screen is to literally squeeze the picture. There's No Business Like Show Business, starring Donald O'Connor and Marilyn Monroe from Mars.
The Robinsons are here.
Where's Mrs. Robinson? You don't see her on the videocassette version of The Graduate. In the videocassette version of The Ghostbusters, Ernie Hudson has been cut out of this scene. A technique called pan and scan, where the camera actually moves to try to show you the whole picture. It doesn't always work. Director Leonard Nimoy took days planning, setting up, then shooting this bookstore sequence with Gene Wilder and 100 extras. It won't look the same way on video.
A camera pans rather indiscriminately for convenience rather than for the sake of the scene or artistry of the scene. I would much prefer to have the film shown in its original format, which means a black border at the top, black border at the bottom, and the film elongated.
And that's the third solution, letterboxing. The only way to appreciate widescreen epic films like the newly restored Lawrence of Arabia. And cuckoo-ca-choo, there's Mrs. Robinson. And there's No Business Like Show Business, sung by Earthlings. There is a trade-off. The picture is smaller, though after a few minutes of viewing, you really don't notice the bands at the bottom and top of the screen. Big screen TVs make the difference less important, and Mrs. Hudson wouldn't have it any other way. This version of The Ghostbusters is on video disc, a technology that's finally coming into its own, in the way film buffs and professionals prefer to watch their movies. This disc, part of the Criterion collection aimed at film buffs, even takes you behind the scenes, and the series is a film lover's feast.
Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
Singin' in the Rain is my favorite movie musical, and on Laserdisc, the sound is as good as a CD. Here's a behind-the-scenes outtake. Silent, you wouldn't add sound to an outtake. At the cut, the stuntman replaced Gene Kelly. I hope he was padded. The series is filled with discoveries like that. North by Northwest, one of the most famous sequences in film history. Because it's digital, the slow motion is perfect. The freeze frame is flawless. Alfred Hitchcock storyboarded all his films before he shot them. And here are the storyboards superimposed over the finished film. Of course, you can just watch the movie, and on disc it's 60% sharper than over-the-air video, or you can plug into an additional soundtrack to hear film historians like the LA County Museum of Art's Ron Haver.
Watch very carefully as the Wicked Witch begins to go over to the point at which she's going to make her exit. And take a look. She moves back. The smoke comes up before she gets there. And you can see it, if you look very carefully, you can see her descending. This was the second take of this shot. Unfortunately, on the next take, the one after this, Margaret Hamilton's entire costume caught fire, and she was seriously injured.
I didn't know that either, but no accidents in The Ghostbusters. In this split-screen comparison, without effects on top, with effects on the bottom, you can see that anything that might be dangerous was added later. Amazed me too. This is the video disc. It's read by laser. The premium discs cost more, but most discs for even new hit films sell for about $30. It takes a little while for the thing to get up to speed. It turns at 1800 RPM. It looks like a huge CD, and in fact, the technology is exactly the same as a CD, and most new players, like this one called Combi players, will play CDs and video discs. The reason video discs are just now coming into their own, even a year ago, you'd be hard-pressed to find a player for under $1,000, but this Christmas, there's the scene we looked at. Sony, Pioneer, Panasonic have Combi players out at under $500. It's the best way to see a movie so far at home. One negative, they don't record, but there's a positive. That means they don't have clocks, so you won't be embarrassed seeing 1200 blinking on and off every time you walk into the den.
That's good. And you get the laser discs in
at
video
a video
stores.
store in good quantity. It's the best way I know of to see a movie.
All right. That's exciting. Thanks, Joel. 5 minutes before 8, Good Morning America continues in just a moment after this from Warner Brothers.